How to be exempt from a face mask at the grocery store every time, by Alan Stevo. Many write me about this topic. The most common face mask request I receive is how a person can exercise an exemption at their grocery store. This has worked for me every time. Step 1, look up the store's phone number online. Step 2, take out a pad of paper, write the date, time, and phone number. Step 3, call and ask for the manager, writing down the name of anyone who says their own name to you, or any other name for that matter. "Oh, Melody will be back in about an hour," is a great excuse to copy down Melody's name. If asked, your reason for calling is that you have a question about the face mask policy. If the person on the phone claims sufficient authority over the topic, just talk to them. Step 4, say to them, "I am unable to wear a face mask safely. May I still shop with you? I was thinking of coming by this afternoon." Step 5, be patient. Don't say anything. Let them have their turn. Don't interrupt. Listen. Take notes. They will say A, yes. B, offer to shop for you. C, say no. D, ask you more about your condition. And step 6, if they say yes, which happens 88% of the time, you're all done. Congratulations, that was easy. After completing the next step, just go shopping. If they offer to shop for you, which happens 10% of the time perhaps, get your shopping list and go to the store. Alternately, you can push back on them, explaining that you don't know what's offered at the store, so you obviously can't just make a shopping list. This will work better than half the time. If they ask about your condition, which they almost certainly won't, less than 1% of the time, tell them you aren't comfortable talking about it. There are lots of good reasons not to go down that road with them. If they say no, maybe another 1% of the time, ask to speak to someone else. If you encounter one of the very few managers who deny you entry and refuse to let you speak to someone, please honor their property rights. Go shop elsewhere and try again during a different shift. By all means, make it a point to also call their corporate offices about the matter. There's only one regional grocery chain that I know of in which the local manager would have the support of the corporate office on not being willing to entertain, let alone offer an exemption, and one national big box hardware store. Overwhelmingly, national offices recognize the valid need for exemptions. Step 7, this is a very important one, ask, should I ask for someone at the door, or what should I do when I arrive? This is a question that will get you a higher level of service. The person on the phone will likely suggest you ask for them or another manager. Get the name of anyone you should ask for. Be sure to use that name when you arrive. This is an important step because often a manager doesn't want you standing in line unmasked. A manager doesn't want you freaking out of their customers. A manager doesn't want you lingering around the store unhelped. Because of this step, I am often escorted to the front of the line. Some cities still have 2-hour-long lines for groceries, and the people living there put up with it. Because of this step, my presence in the store will often be announced across the employee communication channels, and employees will be instructed not to harass me, nor to allow anyone else to harass me. Because of this step, I am given white glove service at the grocery store, the same level of service I hope you are granted for your bravery. I've never in my life been treated like such a valuable customer at the grocery store as when I have invoked a face mask exemption. Don't cause a scene. Please don't cause a scene. Calling ahead of time is the right way to do this. Tensions run high at the door. Approaching a face mask compliance checkpoint unmasked puts you at a disadvantage and may put the person manning the checkpoint unnecessarily on edge. Don't avoid the trouble. Please don't avoid the trouble of making this phone call. This 3-minute phone call is vital to the process. It peacefully, respectfully, and reasonably resists a one-size-fits-all medical order. Don't go into the store with a mask. Please don't go into the store with a mask, even if you're just in a hurry. If you have a legitimate reason not to enter a store without a mask, don't push yourself to wear it. Instead, push yourself to stand up for yourself and your legitimate and honorable boundaries. There is little that can be more important than spending 5 or 10 extra minutes on this. Please vow today to never again wear a face mask at a store. Some point out that freedom isn't free. No one is asking you to spend your Christmas in a fetid French trench. No one is asking you to storm Omaha Beach. No one is trying to get you to travel half a world away in the mind-numbing name of defense and to undergo all manner of horrors. What I'm asking is that you take this unpopular stand and not wear a face mask if you are one of the many millions of exempt individuals. Don't avoid the store. Don't avoid the grocery store. Don't avoid the unpleasantness of the phone call to a manager and the tiny risk of uncomfortable but calm confrontation. Your liberties are being incrementally denied you and denied many others. You are stopping the picking away at freedom with this seemingly tiny but incredibly meaningful act. How this can end. When 100% of people stop complying with the face mask orders are null. They'll be null long before then. How this can get worse. When 100% of people comply with face mask orders, there will be a goggles order, and a face shield order, and a visor order, and a hermetically sealed helmet order, and who knows what else. You do the world a great favor when you don't wear a face mask. You do the world a favor when you fit into an exemption and live your life unmasked. We already know the good science says that face masks do little against COVID. We already know that improper use of a face mask may not just be a neutral benefit, but may be a negative. In an era devoid of leadership, the people around you need someone to stand up and lead. Not by running for office, though that could work. Not by getting appointed to a government board or sinecure, but that too could work. They need you to make it your priority to lead by example. No other leadership is needed from you than this most vital and poignant leadership. In this era, be the finest version of you that you can be, and if you excel, you will be your community's finest leader. For leadership does not come through appointment, but through acts admirable enough to want to be emulated by others. In this specific situation, and in many others, you do so much good for the world by identifying your boundaries, communicating your boundaries, and defending your boundaries.